felt that it's a very big something dominating my life, that I should be in Africa, I should serve the Lord.
Calling.
As a medical doctor, yes, as a calling. It's as a medical doctor, as a Christian, I should go to the needy, most needy people in Africa. And we are Africans, so we belong to them, they belong to us. So anyhow, that was my feeling. Anyhow, I kept talking to the fathers. The first time I sat with Ambassador, he was Antonious Markos. It was in the month of June 1956. He was only monk of two years. And I met him there in the monastery. I said, I want to sit with you. He said to me, come on the top of the wall of the monastery at midnight. We met at midnight, we stayed there until 6 a.m. It was the first time I told him about this Africa. And he said to me, it's surprising. From where you got this? I said, I don't know. Really, I can't say that I read a film or I saw a film or read a book. But anyhow, it was a real calling which I could not resist. I finished medicine in 59. I refused the government job, totally. And I went on making high studies and working what's called free job until Ethiopia came. It came through the visit of Pope Kyrillos in 1965, because Emperor Haile Selassie wants to have the first conference of the Oriental Orthodox churches. For the last 15th century, they did not meet, so he wants to bring them together in Addis Ababa. He was the patron of this meeting. Pope Kyrillos went after a lot of problems, but anyhow he went. But when Athanasius and Abba Samuel went a few days before, I met them. I went to them in the airport of Almaza at that time, and I told them that here you are going to Africa. I have been talking to you about that for the last 10 years. Please don't come back without something. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. They said, how come that you came at this hour of the night? I said, I'm coming to remind you that I'm serious about this calling. So I told you several times, but here now I know that you are going now, so please don't come without. They came back and told me that the Ministry of Health of Ethiopia needs doctors, and the church in the meantime of Ethiopia needs people to organize what's called Sunday school, to prepare servants for Sunday school. They don't know that. And also to have some servants for the youth. They don't know. They have nothing of that in their own agenda at all. So they want somebody to initiate that. Anyhow, you will get a contract. I got a contract from the Ministry of Health, and I started doing all the formalities. It was very tedious formalities in the time of Nasser. It took me from maybe half of 65 up to early 66. At long last, I put my papers in what's called Saha Dawliya, the international medicine in the Ministry of Health, and also routine fixed. Anyhow, while my papers, this is the last step, is in the Ministry of Health to get permission to work abroad. Then I came back from my work, my clinic, late. It was a fasting, it was the Lent. And we were hearing the news in March 66. The news, the first item of the news at 11 p.m. الأخبار ال11 دي كانت معروفة 11. A decision from the President Nasser that no doctors or engineers should travel abroad to work for the need of the country to them. So presidential decree that no doctors should leave. I was on the last step, so I left the table, I went to my room, and I was very unhappy because after all this effort, the president made a decree. My mother, late, God bless her soul, she came after me and she said, my son, our prayers has been answered. We were very worried about you going to Ethiopia. And we are afraid about you. You will put yourself in risk. They will eat you. They will do the death and so on and so on and so on. That simple. Then I kept discussing with her, why are you worried? She said, we are very sorry that we are worried about you very much by many means and so on. And we are more worried that you became mentally sick. we shall take you to a mental doctor to see if you are still sane or insane. I said to her, no, mother, I'm still sane. I did not become cuckoo. I said, no, we see signs that you became really... When I opened St. Mark Gospel, I saw that also the relatives of the Lord Jesus came to hold him because they said he is out of mind. Yes, you know that? Yes, it's written in the Bible, in the book of Mark, that's chapter 3 of the Gospel of Mark. His relatives came to catch him, يمسكوه لأنهم قالوا أنه مختل العقل. They say that he's absurd in his mind about Jesus. So I said, it doesn't matter. I mean, the Lord Jesus, they said he's absurd and I'm absurd. Okay, let us go together. Anyhow, she left me about midnight, but I really knelt down and I struggled with God. I really fought with God, really fighting. I said, for 10 years now, you are really hanging me in the air. You put that in my heart. Either you can remove it or fulfill it. But don't leave me like that. And now there's another obstacle in the way. So show me what to do. Do it. Do something. I mean, show me your will. I really struggled with him in real tears and fight. And I slept, but I was not at all peaceful inside. I don't know, I slept for 4 hours, 5 hours. And there is the balcony door was this on this side and the door of the room is that side. I wake up I don't know, at dawn, before sunrise. I sat in my bed, started reading the Psalms. I do that always, reading the Psalms until I feel peace. Then when I was sitting there, I suddenly found that the room is so wide, as if there is no roof, there is no walls, there is no limits, there is no boundaries. And there is a light, very nice light, lighting the place. I raised my eyes, I found somebody standing in the room. I was awake, I was not asleep. It's not a
dream.
No. Somebody standing in the room was a beautiful man, white, with a halo around his face. I can't forget this. He looked at me with a nice smile and said to me, you will go to Africa and God will be with you. He told me many things, very positive, very encouraging. Then I said to him, but what about the presidential decree? He said to me, this message I give you from the one who opens and nobody can shut. And he left out of the balcony. I jumped after him and said, hey, why are you in a hurry? Come later. Really, I went and even the cold air in the morning, it was sun. Then I looked under the balcony in the street. I said, where did this man go? We should have more chat. I mean, why is he hurrying like that? So because the aeroplane is waiting for us, Yamina.
Who was it?
He was St. Mark.
How did you know?
I knew later, many years later, when I went to all the patriarchate and
شكله ايه يا سيد؟
صدقني زي ما المرقص صور ما المرقص
صغير كده شويه
زي ما المرقص القديمه كان شاب مش
وجلابيه
عجوز مش عجوز
وراسه فيها صلعه شويه من هنا كده.
مش عجوز يا ابونا ابدا
بس في ده
لا مش عجوز
لا
لا شباب يعني مش شباب قوي
50 60
مش عجوز قوي اللي هو الراجل
بس في واحد من ولادنا شافه انا كنت لسه بحكي عليه امبارح شافه
المهم
في حلم
طب how it come بقى then أنبا صموئيل المتنيح أنت عارفه الراجل العظيم ده كان aware of the whole thing وأنبا ساسيوس بن سويف وكانوا هم أكتر ناس بيساعدوني. But anyhow, so once I saw this vision in the early morning, I wake up. I went quickly to the monastery of Syrian. At that time, Bishop Shenouda was in the monastery of Syrian. في الستينات في الوقت ده كان هو في شوية بعيد عن مصر شوية. So I found the taxi. I took the taxi to Tahrir Square. In Tahrir Square, I found the bus going to Alexandria, just ready to move. So I jumped in that. I went there, and in the Hukareya at the rest house, I found the big truck carrying cement going to Syrian monastery. So I jumped in. It was just as if it's really I mean, tailor-made. It's amazing. So I found myself in Syrian monastery by 8 o'clock in the morning. I went to قلاية أنبا شنودة. I knocked the door. كان عنده قلاية كده في باب حديد في جنينة دير سوريان. I knocked the door and he said from inside, who's there? I said, I'm such and such. He said, is it, did you come yesterday? It was urgent. I said, no, I came now. It's urgent. He said, okay, sit, 10 minutes I will be with you. He opened the door. I sat on the lower stairs, he stayed on the upper stairs, and he said to me, what happened? I said, what happened, this. He said to me, did you say it to anybody? I said, no, I did not say anybody. I mean, I just came to see you. He said to me, if it is from God, it will be realized. I said, what is it? He said, don't try to analyze and say. I mean, take it as it is, and in faith, let us pray and see what is the will of God. You have been talking about Africa for so many years now. 10 years. I said, 10 years. Since we sat on that wall in June 1956, now it is 10 years. He said to me, leave it in the hands of God. If it happens, then it is the message from God. Anyhow, I spent a week, and then on 2nd of May, Amba Samuel calls me to say, come to see me في مكتبه in his office in Amber West. The Minister of Health agreed to give you an exemption from that presidential decree to go and work in Ethiopia. How come? النبوي المهندس كان وقتها اسمه وزير التموين, the Coptic minister, spoke to the health minister, and he said, yes, we have the right, the ministers have the right to give exemption. We shall give you permit and go. 26th of May, I was on my flying machine to Australia.
What did Pope Carolus say?
Oh, Pope Carolus really blessed me very much before I go. He told me, my son, we have been with Ethiopia for the last 16 centuries, and we dominated them, we ruled them, and they did not like us. Wash their feet so they can love us, love your brothers. And I said to him, Sayyidina, this is a very big responsibility. He said, I will pray for you, and God will enable you to do that. اغسل اليوم يا ابني عشان يحبوك ويحبنا كلنا. انت الخيطة الوحيدة اللي بيننا وبين الحبشة.
يا سلام.
الحمد لله.
بركة كبيرة.